Alright, I'm going to try to do all this in one take. So we're going to be going over a lot of concepts in this video about how to play, short. So we're going to start with the basics of like what I think a short should do. So in my opinion, a good short doesn't necessarily get a lot of ints, but he makes a lot of checkdowns worth not many yards. He doesn't give up easy plays, he doesn't give up easy throws. He makes the quarterback actually think differently than he normally would, and he covers as much space as absolutely possible. You want to cover as much space as you can, you want to get as much value as you can. Shorts don't get a lot of interceptions against any decent level of quarterback, so you're going to have to find value in other ways. You're going to have to enable the guy behind you, your deep or the free safety even, to be able to make a good read on the fold or his guy as well, depending on if the quarterback's pushed back, how much time he has in the pocket. There's a lot of different scenarios that we're going to be going over. I have clips, but let's start with the basics, and that is like when to jam versus when not to jam. So this is like the only scenario where you have to jam. There's no way around this. Let's be honest, if you're at the 2-yard line, the quarterback he's going to run the ball most likely, and that's not very stoppable in general. But essentially here you have to jam, because this bubble option of him just running straight to the quarterback and getting off the pad pre-snap, if you're jamming his outside shoulder and he runs an inside leverage play such as pokey play or a bubble, you're never getting there in time. It's a guaranteed touchdown. So you're going to have to jam all the way in here, and that's going to be super awkward, because you might think, oh, well, what if he just goes corner? He might, and it's going to be a hard pass for the quarterback, because from this range it's actually really hard to hit like a 5-yard burn, just because of how the ball releases out of your hand and how it won't ever get to the peak before the time it gets over this guy. So this is actually a hard pass for a quarterback, even though it looks like it's wide open, because it looks like a 5-yard burn. Like if this guy was back end zone right now, this is pretty crabbable. Like it's honestly a hard pass. But anyways, like I said, you're going to have to be jamming around here. And, if he doesn't end up running a bubble or a pokey play or any inside leverage insta play, you're just going to back up corner. I'll have some clips on what to do in red zone situations. Alright, let's go back a little bit. I would not be jamming here either. So this is going to be kind of a weird situation where you're going to actually be... let's get a first down marker up. So you're in a weird situation here, and I like to call different schemes here. I like to experiment with like man-to-man early. You can't fully man-to-man here. It's not going to work, obviously, because as that tight end rolls out, if you guys are both man-to-man, you're way down here. The play is just going to end with a check down on your side, and obviously that's not necessarily good defense in my opinion. So I do like to run a scheme called man-to-man early. So I'll just line up out here. You don't jam in man. There's no purpose, especially, if you call out man-to-man and you play all the way inside here and then you get beat on the jam, obviously you just screwed your deep over just because you wanted to jam. There's not really a purpose to jamming. It doesn't do a whole lot for the defense in general to just jam the outside receiver every play. It's not worth the risk of, oh wow, you got beat that play for 25 yards. And I'm a good jammer myself. I know how to jam. I know how to not get beat on a jam. But even then, what happens when I make one mistake and just gave up 20 yards for no purpose? It doesn't give enough upside for it to be worth jamming. So, like I said, you're not going to want to jam very often. You can jam as kind of like a surprise attack type of thing, which I will talk about later, but it's not really very high expected value to jam every play. You're more than likely going to be at a loss over the long run. So, anyways, what a man-to-man late drop would look like is you would man this guy at the start of the play. And by the way, man-to-man does not mean you play underneath and try to read a comeback. I see that too often where you're like, oh, he might run a comeback. It's so open. You try to pre-read it and then just keeps going and it's a touchdown. You can't do that. You have to keep a PR in man-to-man. That's the only way. Once your deep is able to get over here, now that's when you get to drop. That's when it switches into zone. So it's just an early man-to-man, so that potentially if this guy runs a quick play here, your deep can have the obligation to drop downwards on it, instead of having to say, okay, let me get all the way out here. So that's kind of the logic there, and I like to mix in some man-to-man in certain scenarios. So this range is, starting to get to the range where I'd be like, okay, yo, deep, let's run a man-to-man this play. And you have to clarify, I'm going to drop late, because obviously your deep has to know later on in the play as that tight end starts to roll out, you got to be able to drop, obviously. All right, let's go down to what I call a long field. So obviously, from the offense's perspective, this is a lot of space, and that means that the offense benefits a lot from holding the ball for longer. So we're never going to be jamming here. There's not really any logical scenario because, I mean, you don't really benefit much. I mean, the plays are going to last a long time, so staggering him by, 3 yards from the deep, it doesn't really do much. I don't really see value in it. So let's not jam at this spot. This deep or this outside, he can just do whatever he wants. And this is not how you line up either. You line up here, and you might wonder why is that. You line up here because there's no reason you can't. The only punish is him throwing like something like this. If he throws that, fair game. He's not going to, I promise you. So you may as well line up here and then get a short tackle on a walk, cover a hitch maybe. It's just free value. You're going to notice a theme a lot from how I talk about short. Do what you can do that's free. If it's punishable, you don't want to do it probably. But there is no punish that is going to reliably stop me from saying, okay, I'm going to line up right here. This stops an instant play here. This allows me to make a read on a JP to this guy. This allows me to get a tackle on a walk. This allows me to get a 5-yard tackle on a hitch. Why would I not be here? There's no logic to me ever not being here. There's no good effective punish. Maybe this guy runs like a insta line screen jump pass at the LOS and I dive on his feet for a 0-yard tackle. It doesn't do anything. So if you are able to get away with something like this and get value from doing nothing, you may as well do it. That's going to be a common theme today. So short wants to get a lot of value and cover a lot of space. So now I'm going to go over one scheme before we get into the clips. This is a very powerful scheme in my opinion. So this is something I would run in a kind of like a situation after you've gotten like a sack. So second or third down, in like 30 yards for a first. So first of all, on second down, you want to manage these downs on defense. Obviously, offense wants to manage the downs too, but on defense, you want to do the same thing. So on second and 30, I'm only thinking about fourth down. How can we make that fourth down be challenging? And also, in this scenario specifically where we're in first quarter, I'm actually thinking about third down too. Because if we can make that fourth down less than a 7 yards to the first situation, if he's 4th and 8, we just got to stop. So I would love to try to get a stop here because obviously there's no reason you wouldn't want to stop here. This is a pretty great situation. Your DE just got a 15-yard sack. So what we're going to do as a short, you're going to go in team chat or VC and you're going to type over under. That means over under. So what this is going to look like is your deep is just going to be playing over the first down. So he's not going to show that he's doing that, obviously. He's going to line up like normal. There's no reason you would ever telegraph this. Never telegraph anything that you're planning on doing. You should always be surprising and unexpected. But later on this play, your deep is going to have the responsibility of the deepest man over the first down. And you're going to be underneath the first down, giving up yardage. So on second down, I don't know if I want to call this. On third down, absolutely. So what we're going to do here, and I actually have a clip of this that I'll show. I'll actually show that soon, I believe. But we're going to just cover the short. As a short, you're going to cover underneath this first down. Remember, we're trying to limit it to, 4th and a gain of 23. We are fine with a gain of 22 here. And that means I don't have to show any respect to that check down below me. So even if there's a guy right here, I don't care. It doesn't matter. He does not exist. I should not have to explain stuff like this, but I see these types of mistakes all the time where. And also, let's be clear, you're never jamming here. There is no purpose you'd ever jam here. There's no logic to that at all. Like, I shouldn't have to say this, but you don't jam in a 3rd and 30 situation. You should be all the way back here at the start of the play, honestly. There's no reason you aren't. Do stuff that's unpunishable. A jam is punishable. What happens when you get beat on the jam, and now they just both streak on your deep, and then he runs this fold right here and it's wide open. Everything's guaranteed to be wide open if you get beat on the jam here. That's not cool. That's bad defense. It's guaranteed to be bad defense. I don't care if you go unpunished for your jam. It's still bad defense. It doesn't have a good enough upside for it to be ever useful. So, like I said, we're not jamming here. We're trying to give up yards. I want to give him a check down. I want him to think that check down's open, and I'll drop late. So that was over-under scheme, and I also talked about man-to-man drop late. And like you'll say that, like I can just say man-to-man and my deep will know what I'm talking about, but if you don't know that your deep knows how to do this, like if I'm in a QB with a random dude, I'm going to say man-to-man, I'm dropping late. Simple. And you should communicate a lot. There's no reason you don't communicate. There's no reason you guys both try to clone the same thing. There's no reason both you guys say it's a 4th and 5 situation. So like it just let's do this. Alright. We're right here. You're gonna see that like a lot of deeps want to make some suicide read on like a hitch here. Talk to your deep. He could make that read potentially, and this is something that a lot of people don't even realize is a possibility. The short can actually just PR. You guys can literally just line up like this, and the short can PR, and he can make a crazy read like that. Like, people don't really use a lot of the options that exist in this game, so they don't find a lot of value. I mean, that's pretty simple. If you don't try anything new, you don't learn anything new, and you don't challenge the quarterback. The quarterback has played 1,000 hours of this exact same short gameplay. So yeah, no matter what you do, if it's just going by the book, you're not going to really do anything that he's never seen. It's just going to be his mechanical inconsistency that you're capitalizing on, and that's not what a good short does. A good short doesn't let a quarterback just walk all over him because he has a completely different method of playing the game that is infinitely more effective. So if I'm in a 4th and 5 situation, maybe I'm thinking, okay, this quarterback probably isn't running a quick play to the slot, so maybe I want to run early man. So maybe I'm saying man-to-man. Maybe I'm saying read hitch, IPR. The short can communicate this, the deep can communicate this, but someone has to communicate this. If you have no communication, and like you decide you're going to read this hitch, and he suicide reads the hitch, this guy's wide open behind you for a touchdown. Communicate. I mean, should go without saying, but I just don't see any communication from shorts. Shorts just think, oh, let's just brainlessly jam the outside receiver, get beat for 60 yards a game, get 0 good tackles, and then I'm a great short. There are less than 5 shorts in this league that I would consider to be even humans. It's like very, very sad gameplay. I should never have to like be dealing with people being this horrible at the game. But let's move on to clips, because I covered the other stuff. I will actually showcase a clip first. This is what over-under looks like. So we're in a 3rd and 29 situation. Let's make this speed a little slower. So I didn't even have to jam here. I just wanted to mess around a little bit. So I shouldn't really have jammed here. So look, we're in over-under here. Like, this deep should be over this guy. I don't really even like that he's not over him at all. There's no reason he would ever not be over him. Another thing that you need to look at. Look at the DE pressure. Like, the quarterback is pressured here. He doesn't have infinite time here. So I am going to, but look, I'm going to give up this check down. This check down is fine. I don't care about it. If I drop and I get pre-fired, that's costly. But like, it's first quarter. If we're in a game, this guy doesn't even exist. He's not even in the game. This guy like literally has to be here in a game, or else it doesn't matter what he does. So I'm going to wait until the quarterback is at a position where he has no scramble recovery, which is looking like right now, because this guy's out of the play. This guy's got his cutoff behind. This guy's got a free rush. And what's the quarterback's option? He has a scramble this way into a guy who already has it cut off. It doesn't make sense. So when there's a senseless scramble, now you start looking to drop. So let's see what I do. I stayed down here for so long, but now this quarterback just has no way he can really hold this ball any longer. Now I can drop for free. And also look, this guy is not open. He's not even throwable. That's something you guys got to understand. I have this guy fully covered without being on top of him. I don't have to be standing here to cover Ryder here. I don't know why I have to say that. The ball has to travel, what is this, like 60 yards, 50 yards to get to the receiver, so I'm not going to play on top of the guy because the ball travels, and while the ball travels, I can move. Therefore, I get free space. So, I mean, even if I'm right here, the pass behind me is just not throwable. So, free space. Take free space when you have it. All right, now let's look at this guy. I see the quarterback's pressured. The pass behind me is not throwable. Now I can start dropping for a tackle. This is called tackle range. Try to get short tackles. It's very important. And notice another thing. This is very important. This guy has to jump for this ball. And he has to jump exactly where I dove at it. You guys that play short, you guys don't dive. You guys think you're like geniuses for not diving so that you quote unquote don't get mixed. The guy has to catch the ball where I'm diving. It is not, if he doesn't catch the ball here, it's an interception. So knowing that information, this is forced positioning. That's a crucial idea. This positioning from this receiver / tight end is forced. He has no option but to catch it exactly where I'm diving. Therefore, I have a free guaranteed tackle. And if he doesn't want to catch the ball, I'll int it. But it doesn't matter. I could not care less about an interception here. There's never an int. So look. He's tackled. Easiest tackle of my life. End game, that's a forced punt. We just got to stop. And a QB, sure. He's going to probably keep playing. But nice and easy play. That was an over-under type of scenario where I gave up a lot of yards, and now they're set up for a long fourth. 4th and 21, I love those odds. And then you can determine what you want to run, whether that's over-under again, whether you want your short, you want to help your short make, or you want to help your deep, or MLB, you know. You can help anybody here. It should be an easy stop, depending on if you can get any DE pressure. All right, let's move on to a concept called the QB timer. This concept applies to deeps, it applies to the free safety, it applies to the MLB, it applies to every single defensive back. And it also kind of applies to DE when it comes to crabbing, but that's a topic for much down the line, because you guys are not ready for that. All right, let's check this out. This quarterback has a lot of time. This is another thing. When this quarterback has a lot of time, why am I seeing DEs push up? The quarterback is not going to run the ball here. He's going to sit here and stroke it as long as he can, because there's no punish. He has infinite time. So what that means, infinite time equals back. I shouldn't have to say this, by the way. Just back up. Please. I shouldn't have to say that. Give him yards. They won the rep. The blockers sold. Just give them as minimal yards as possible. Give him the run. This is a lot of people don't know. The run is always the least yardage option. Every single play, it's guaranteed to be the worst option. It's always worse than a check down that took enough space. It's always worse than a deep pass. It's always worse than a fold. It's the worst option for the quarterback to take. When a quarterback gets to the LOS and he has to run, it's not good for him. Like, I do not get happy whenever, oh wow, they all backed up properly and now I have to run the ball. He runs to here and then I meet him. Wow, he got 15 yards off of a great scramble. I don't care, honestly, at all about that. But instead, if I try to drop, obviously he's just going to throw the folds. So now instead of being down here, he gets an extra what? 10, 20 yards just because I decided to drop when I just literally cannot. Like, come on. It's stupid. So I'm literally just S-holding with this guy. If he wants to run a comeback, he can run a comeback. I could not care less, to be completely honest with you. So, because I can't afford to play a comeback and pre-read it, and he throws it over me. That's not good gameplay. So you're going to have to hope he doesn't throw a comeback. And if he does throw a comeback, and he thought he was going to throw a comeback, logically, because he has a tendency to do that, it's all about pattern recognition. If he has a pattern of throwing a comeback in this situation, sure, go for the read. I'm not mad about it. This quarterback, personally, had not thrown a single outside pass, really at all. So honestly, I don't even care about this outside receiver. I don't even think he's getting the ball. I was doing some crazy stuff this entire QBB. You'll see in the next, in a future clip. But let's check what I do. This quarterback is starting to run out of time now. Notice this DE has this kind of, the play's starting to die down. So we're starting to look at like maybe 5 seconds left in the play. So I know this information. I'm tracking it. Okay. The center doesn't exist. This guy has a cutoff. The play is dying. These guys are out of the play. Don't have to worry about those guys. Don't have to worry about these guys. So there's only one DE here, and it's this guy. The play is coming to an end. 3 seconds. Let's see what I do with that information. I know it has 3 seconds left. Okay, look at this. I have shown this quarterback. So by the way, let's think about this. If a quarterback has 3 seconds, he has to find a read. Obviously, he has to find something downfield to throw. So if he saw me if he saw me here, why would he ever be looking here again? This is what he sees. These guys are gone. These guys don't exist. I'm not throwing my outside receiver. That's all he sees. This is called QB signaling. I told this quarterback with my positioning, hey, you can't throw this pass. If you throw this pass knowing that I'm here, it's a bad read. And you're going to get punished in the future for that. That's not acceptable gameplay. So now we can think another level of that. Now that I have pseudo covered this guy, and he just doesn't exist anymore, who's to say I can't do this? Think about it. Because if I have covered this guy in the quarterback's mind, because he has to scan the field, the quarterback goes 1, 2, 3, 4. He's scanning people. He's scanning 1, 2, 3, 4. If this guy's 1, he doesn't exist. Quarterback has to look for someone else. This guy, though, he's got underneath leverage. Ding, ding, ding. That's what the quarterback is thinking in his head. And I know this. I'm a quarterback. So look where I go. Boom. I'm shifting. Like, simple. It's a free interception. And you might be worried about this guy on the outside. I don't know why he would be, but oh no, what if he sees this? He can't. The quarterback cannot be looking here. It's just not possible. If the quarterback can look here at this stage in the play where he has 0 time left, he's just not a good quarterback. That's simple as that. He would have to be, because that would mean he would be ignoring every other read and hoping that a short who's fully covering his receiver is going to magically just disappear. That's not going to happen. So I've covered this guy. This guy is mentally covered. He doesn't exist anymore, so I don't care about him. Free shift. And I could stop this. There are maybe 5 deeps in this entire league that are going to do this. And by the way, let's be clear. I don't find this to be an impressive play. This is the most easy play. You have so much information being just shoved in your face with this pocket and this scramble. It's the most obvious read of my entire life. But other people are going to see this and think this is some read. This is not a read. This is obvious. So let's stop acting like stuff like this is impressive and let's start making this basic gameplay. Because it should be. This should be obvious gameplay. I'm not impressed by this play. This is basic. This is obvious. No one should be impressed by a play like that. Alright, let's go to another QB timer clip. Okay. 3rd and 35 in his own end zone. Very, very scary situation. Obviously. Very, very, very scary situation. Let's see what happens. Okay. Notice you can also see where the quarterback looks. That's another big idea. So let's see what I do with this information. Okay. Timer. Timer. Red flag should be going off in your head. Timer. Time, 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 time. And we actually should go a little bit back. I am allowing this comeback. I just don't care about it. You guys try so hard to cover things. I don't care about the comeback. It just does not matter. Cool. He got a 5-yard gain. Am I supposed to be caring about that? I don't care. I just don't care. So knowing that, I'm not going to give it respect. Look at where the quarterback's looking. He's looking here. He has to start thinking about throwing the ball. He's looking here. He has maybe 2 seconds left before he gets sacked. By the way, safetied. Safetied is not sacked. Safetied is, I need to do anything I can to not get safety. That is an interception and a turnover. Or, sorry, that's an interception and 2 points. So that is, I mean, safeties are so game-changing. They are game over most of the time whenever you get a safety. So, even though this guy's wide open, the quarterback is about to get safetied. He has to make some godly flick to get over here. You guys try so hard to cover this, and then give up this. This pass is easy. This one where he just runs a simple comeback. The quarterback wants it. The quarterback wants that bailout. I'm just not giving it to him. Look at me. I don't even have to cover it. He didn't even run it. But here's the problem. You guys will look at this and be like, oh, I was out of position. But I know that I forced this pass. Let's see what happens. Let's see where the pass goes. 2v1 toss that I was forced. Did they catch it? No. But that's not what matters. I set my deep and free safety up to make a very easy toss-up play because I took away the easiest option for the quarterback to throw. And you guys would never have even been in this spot because you guys are so scared of being a pass let up in your zone. I get value. That's what I do. I take as much value and as much space as I possibly can. And yeah, that means you might even leave somebody open. But it does not matter. You have to know when that does not matter. And in this play, it didn't matter. So that's the QB timer. The QB timer is how much time the QB has left to make his final reads before the play is dead. You determine the QB timer based on the DEs. Very, very important concept. The QB timer, when it starts ticking, that's when you can signal something. So if I were covering here, and then the quarterback, and I'm all the way over here, and then the quarterback's about to be QB timer, I'm bouncing out. Because this is already covered for the QB's last set of reads. Remember, the quarterback has to go 1, 2, 3, 4, going through his reads. Okay, 1's not open, he's too far away. Okay, 2's covered by this short right here. Okay, 3 has a comeback. I'm going to throw him. I have to. Stop letting quarterbacks do that. Stop giving them bailouts. Show coverage, QB signal, and then cover something else. Make a suicide read. Do anything you want. Because if a QB timer is active, a quarterback can't throw stuff that you're looking at fully covering. If you're PRing something, make a suicide read underneath it. I don't care. Suicide read a comeback. Maybe 1 out of 10 times it works, but the quarterback, if he threw that pass over top, he's just tossing it. If the quarterback has a tendency to toss, maybe you don't make that read. But it's not punishable by a good quarterback because of QB timer. Try to use QB timer, guys. It's very important. Very good strategy. Okay, let's look at what happens in this clip. So like I said earlier, as a short, you want to cover space. So I bounce around a lot. Look at where I'm lined up. Just running around randomly. I time the hike. Get a nice chip on him. The reason he's not blocking me backwards, by the way, is because I jammed him maybe 2 times this entire game. He has no reason to think I'm going to jam him. And, you know, he should still be facing the other way. But I'm just chipping him once just for fun. Because I just because, why not? Because I know that he's not going to punish me for it. I know that I am never getting punished for my jam. So why would I not jam just 1 time and lose nothing? I may as well sometimes, right? So that's free value to me. Okay. You guys don't understand why I'm here. Why would the short be so far in? Isn't this wide open? Okay. Do I care? That's the quarterback's line of sight. You can literally see in this game where he's looking. How are you guys bad at short? He's not looking here. Why would I respect it? The quarterback can't see the play. He doesn't see a receiver here. I don't care what he's looking at. If he's gonna look at, he's not looking at my guy. I'm never going to take this space. He doesn't see the guy. I mean, I don't care. He's scrambling, by the way. You need to know when a quarterback is scrambling. This quarterback is not looking downfield right now. I promise you. Like right now, he's looking downfield. He's probably looking at this specific pass actually. Let's see what he does. Okay. QB timer. This is when the play ends. This guy's gonna go here. This guy's gonna go behind him. You've probably got 5 seconds left in this play. So let's take that information into account. Also, another thing, quarterback's still not looking at me. You guys are gonna think this is bad defense. This is where I see you guys. I see you guys right here. That's just not good gameplay. The quarterback is pushed back and not looking downfield. Why would I not be taking the space he's giving me? Makes no sense. Okay. Worst center I've ever seen. I don't even know who this is. I don't know why he's switching. This gives him a free rush. Timer is shortened. Let's see what happens. Oh my god. Look at the short. By the way, this is not supposed to be an interception. I intercepted this. This is not supposed to be an interception. I'm not clipping this because it's supposed to be an interception. I'm clipping this because what other shorts is here on this play? In AFL, honestly, none of them. That's a sad thing. There's maybe 5 shorts in the entire league that are even mentally capable of being in this position. Because I'm giving up everything. Every single thing. Everything's open. And you guys are like, but what if he threw his own? He can't. He's not going to. He is pressured. He is pseudo-pressured. So even though he doesn't, okay. This is what the quarterback has to see. 2 encroaching DEs. There is no hope of this scramble. The quarterback is looking for a checkdown. I know this is a short. I know this is a quarterback. So why not? Why not want to be here? I just want to be here, so I'm going to. Because I know he's not able to punish me. Because he's so pressured in his mind. So boom. 5-yard tackle. That's an incredible play. I'm a short. And I just went across the field to make this play. Do I care that it was an interception? No, that's a receiver drop. That's just not a good receiver. Simple. But what I care about is this. I am right here getting a tackle as a short. How many other shorts are getting away with this? Because the guy watching this video, he's not getting away with it. He doesn't understand that he can do this. And this is the thing about shorts. Shorts just blame the MLB here. Everybody always blames the MLB here. And I'm always the MLB. I always have to play MLB for my team, so I have to sympathize with these guys. Shorts take up space. If the short doesn't take as much space as he can every single play, the MLB is simply going to get abused. It's not avoidable. There is no good MLB gameplay that's going to stop that. The middle is too abusable. It's that simple. 3 people have to help it. Even 5 people have to help it. Sometimes your deeps have to help it over top as well. So give your MLB some help. This is my MLB. He was guarding a flash on the other hash, I'm assuming, right? Yep, he was guarding that comeback. He was able to be in tackle range of this guy. But he wasn't quite able to be here. But I was. I was not able to really logically be punished in the position I was in. So let's watch that clip one time. All the way. Timing when he should be logically throwing the ball. This is the one time in the play where he has to start looking for the play to end. So what is the quarterback logically seeing here? I can cut this off. Easy tackle. Ding, ding, ding. Wide open. That's what he's seeing. Like, really think about the quarterback. So if the quarterback, if I know that's all he's seeing and that's his main read here, why can't I be here? This is what I challenge you guys to think about. Why can't you be there to make a play? Why don't you want to be there to make a play? Okay, let's go to a clip that was actually done against me. This is a semi-human shorts, and this is a very important concept. 3rd and 15. This is a very common double flash. 4th or 3rd is like red flags for a double flash. They're going to run a double flash, so let's not let them run a double flash. Here's how you cover it. Whatever side the quarterback does not roll, the short needs to help. The MLB shifts over here. You guys are covering these comebacks. Slots covered by the shorts. This guy's covered by, because you got to think he's throwing crossbody to that other slot. So this MLB can't ever be here. It's just not possible. If the MLB were to be on this hash, this flash is wide open. And you might think, what if this short goes here? Then the outside receiver runs a comeback. It's not possible. The quarterback would be too close for you to leave this spot wide open. So therefore, only the crossbody short can read it. So let's see what happens in this play. Okay. Quarterback's pressured. Short is already shifting on the double flash. Let's see where the MLB goes. MLB was already leaning in a spot where he could do this, so this isn't throwable. And the short already committed to it. And here's why this is a good play. It's not because he got an interception. I just don't care that he got an interception. This play could be ran 100 times and maybe I didn't throw it and then it's not an interception. But here's why this play is good. This is not punishable. Think about it like this. This guy can run a comeback, sure. It would have to be pre-fired though because I'm crossbody. Let's look at the point when I throw this ball. Notice you can also see the quarterback looking that way. That's not what you base your gameplay on, but that's just another reason why, yeah, I want to make a play here. So, if I had more time, maybe I could run a comeback to him. But I don't really think so, because you just have to wait for DEs to encroach here. Your goal is not to actually cover this. It's to support it early. So, eventually, if he did this play and I didn't throw this ball, he's eventually bouncing out to cover the sideline comeback anyways. It's just to help the MLB early on in the play. So, props for this play. I don't call double flashes for a reason, but this is like the one time I've called in the past 5 seasons. But as I should, I got punished for it. This is a great play, so props. Alright, let's talk about tackle range. Tackle range is incredibly important. If you're playing short, you need short tackles. I don't care about your interceptions. Make a play when it's given to you. But at the end of the day, you need to be able to get short tackles. Short tackles change the entire way a quarterback has to manage the downs. Okay. I've already said it before. What are we seeing, guys? These guys don't exist. QB timer, guys. We're back to the QB timer. Okay. The quarterback has to throw something. And he's going to throw what's easy. This is not easy. I can back up on this and it's covered. And it's just the fact that I can do this that makes it covered. Because if the quarterback knew that I could do this and threw it anyways, it's a burger, knowing the information he has. So I can full send this safely and get a huge tackle. A lot of you guys are not willing to be putting yourselves in this position. These tackles change games. A lot of you guys give this guy, like a lot of you guys are where I am now by the time he's already caught the ball. And then he gets to right here. Maybe it's like a 2nd and inches, 2nd and 2. What happens? Like he just runs the ball and they're guaranteed to convert. It's useless. You didn't do your job of getting a short tackle. So this applies to shorts and MLBs. You guys have to get short tackles. That is what I determine. Like as a short, I don't care about how many times he threw my zone and completed it. I care about how many times did I get a game-changing short tackle. Like how many times did I really just genuinely set my team up for a solid thing here where they can make a good play in the future. Also, notice this. He has to catch it here. What does that mean? That's called forced positioning. Remember what forced positioning means? That means I have a free dive. I can just dive straight onto that spot because he has to catch that as a chest pass. And if he jumps over, I get an interception. I don't care. I don't care about an interception here because I'm playing for the tackle. But hypothetically, if he did jump over it and try to dodge my tackle, obviously he doesn't catch it in the first place. So I'm already diving by the time that he's, like the ball is in the air. Look, the ball, I'm already diving right here. Because this guy has to catch it here. That is a free dive. That is forced positioning. I will dive there every single time. And also, you have to stop the air yards. The only way to stop that is to tackle him the second that he gets the ball. He just received the ball. I'm already inside of the guy tackling him. Doesn't get his dive off. I make this go from a 10-yard play, which is what you guys would give him, to now a 0-yard play. That's what separates a good and a bad short in MLB. They make short tackles consistently. They give up things to make these short tackles. They make those sacrifices. All right. These next two clips are plays where I see short struggle so unbelievably much. It's so annoying. So let me get a quick water break so I can explain this. All right. So look. We're in a really sketchy situation. I don't really know what my deep is doing, to be honest, but here's what we have to look at. I'm not jamming here, by the way. And I'm just randomly mixing that movement. You guys see it? It's the little things that people do that changes stuff. Maybe he wanted to run a bubble. Just because look at how long it's taking him to hike. So maybe I shift in. What if I caught the guy getting off the pad and running a bubble? What if, right? What if it happens 1 in 100 times? Now I have a 1% chance of getting an interception here. That's what you guys got to think about. Because what if? What if you get lucky? It's about expected value. I lost nothing from doing this, so why wouldn't I do it? Why wouldn't I do it and just magically pray that I get a lucky bailout catch? Because you might. You just might. So do things that you can't be punished for. You can't punish me for this, and it has positive upside. So I'm going to do it. That's positive expected value guaranteed. Okay. Play started. 2 guys on me. What on earth am I going to do? Here's what you guys do. Oh, got to cover the corner. That's going to be a touchdown. Unfortunate. I didn't have any deep help. Here's what a good short does. He looks at the quarterback. What's going to happen with the quarterback? So I'm obviously in a pretty severe zone split. Let's slow this down a little bit so you guys can really understand it. See this? Quarterback is staring at it. Also, another thing. This is how a quarterback scrambles when he wants to throw the corner. He stays here. When a quarterback wants to throw an LOS out or any out route, if a quarterback's throwing a slant, he's going to move in line with the slant. So he's going to follow this scramble. Let's watch how his scramble looks. See that? He followed the scramble. There is a guy in the end zone right now that is so unbelievably wide open. There is 10 yards from me to him. And look at where I am. I'm right here. Who else wants to be here this badly that they make this play? Not many people. That's your answer. I am behind the LOS while there is a guy wide open corner. Because I know how a guy scrambles. I know how to play shorts. I know what he's looking at. That's what a good playmaker does. No deep needed. None at all. Now look. I am completely in position to intercept this ball. But here's what you don't do. You don't play for an interception here. You can't. You're just playing for a tackle. So look, he misleads it horribly, and I'm there. If the receiver was there to catch the ball, he gets tackled. Like, really look at how big of a loss this is. This is a loss of 5 yards. Like, that is a disgusting play. And instead, you guys would have given him this pass 100% of the time. I watch this play every single time, and it works every single time. You guys would be in the corner right now. He would throw this pass. You would not be in tackle range. He'd jump and dive in while you get blocked. Every single time I watch it every single time, and it's so annoying to watch. It's the most painful thing to watch because I know that I can make that play. And I'm not playing for an interception here. You can't play for an interception. It's not your job to intercept this ball. Good shorts don't play for interceptions most of the time. So, very simple. I stopped it. And look, he's like, yo, quarterback. Hello, I'm wide. Doesn't matter. I let you be wide. Okay, you might wonder, why does this clip not end? Why are we still going? What happens in the rest of this clip? Let's check it out. Okay, same exact thing. Just running around, taking space, being a little unpredictable at the start of the play. Oh my god. Do they hate me or something? Why am I getting deja vu right now? Okay. So, let's check what signs he gives me to cover what play. Because I mean, you're in a zone split at the end of the day. You're not having an easy play. So what are you going to do about it? How are you going to decide who to pick? Are you going to just roll the dice? I'm not going to roll the dice. I'm going to use every information that I have available to me. So let's see what information he gives me. Okay. Well, that's a little weird. There's a jumping DE in front of his face. That might mean that's going to be a hard pass to make if he wants to throw this guy. Maybe he's going to have to, if he wants to throw this LOS, he's going to have to scramble kind of backwards so he can clear that DE out of his face or just get swatted, right? So, since I know that information, I'm not going to play on it yet. I don't care about that tackle quite yet. And look, this is so important. That. Full stop. Why did I full stop? I just don't have enough information yet. But here's another thing. You guys might remember from the last part. This scramble means he probably wants the LOS out. But what did I say about this scramble when he sits back middle? I said that probably represents this at the majority of the time. So let's see how I play this. Stop. Why did I stop? Tackle range. This is a 0-yard tackle now. Yes, I give him some space behind me, but I'm covering 2 people at the end of the day. I have to do what I can. Because this is still a touchdown. A lot of you guys are going to go all the way back to the corner, and then he's just going to throw the LOS. He's going to dive back and get a touchdown. You guys are going to be like, oh, zone split, bummer, GG, go next. That's not what I do. I don't do that. I don't make an excuse. I make a play. So let's see what happens. By the way, this is very important. Watch this. This is the moment where I get to start making the read. See that? His hips turned. He's going inside. I'm looking at this guy now. Let's see it. Oh my god. Let's commit. By the way, you guys think this is just a burger. This pass is not easy, I promise you. It is really not an easy pass. And I'm there. Free interception. I just played 2 plays in a row where I was 1v2. And you know what I didn't do in VC? I didn't say, doer, why weren't you helping me? I just did my job and looked at every bit of information I had around me, and I made a play. I didn't make an excuse, I made a play. A lot of you guys need to just take that into account. Let's go into the exact same scenario, because quarterbacks apparently love to do this to me. By the way, there are 4 people on my side right now. I want you guys to really think about that. 4 people. And I'm not worried. My MLB is not even leaning on my hash. Got no help. Do I need it? I don't care. Okay. Look. What are you guys noticing? Why would he scramble like this when there's a DE cutting him off? It doesn't make sense. That's why. 100% that's why. Because this scramble Just does not make sense. Let's slow it down. Why is he still walking into the sack? That's suicide. A good quarterback that's watching his blockers is not going to do this. He's going to bounce back middle. So why would he keep walking into a sack? He's still walking into it. But the guy, he's going to go corner. I'm scared. I have to cover the corner though. But there's a guy corner. I hear this so many times. This is where the ball's going. The quarterback just screamed. He just screamed to you, yo, I am passing it to the LOS. He just screamed it at you. He just put the whole information in your face. Take advantage of it. Look at me. There's a guy behind me right now that's so unbelievably wide open. So wide open. By the way, the reason that I don't go here, and instead I go here, is because I get free value. Well, I guess I won't like here. If he throws a quick pass to this guy, free tackle. It's free value, guys. I am covering 3 options as one guy. No doer needed. No deep. That's the difference between me and you guys. You guys cover one guy and let someone else make a mistake. I cover everybody I can possibly cover every single play because that's my job as a short. It's to find value. I find value. You guys don't find value. So start finding value. Let's look at this. Already diving. Why am I diving? Why am I diving? Why am I diving? Because the ball has to get caught on this position. Forced position. It's forced. What do you guys not understand? He has to catch it from right there. Therefore, the dive is free. I like free things. I'm going to take it. I'm already diving when the ball's in the air. Look at this. It's a forced position. I can dive for free. Let's see what happens. I'm already diving. By the way, look at this. Behind LOS. With my information, I got a tackle behind LOS here. So I just got a loss of yards. Off of covering 3 people, I just, as a short cornerback, lost the quarterback yards. How many of you guys are even willing to be in that position? How many of you guys aren't getting scored on from this LOS guy and being like, bro, I needed help? I don't need help. I'm not like you guys. I just do it myself and I don't complain. But he actually fumbled. So this would actually have been a recovery and it would have been a turnover. But I just couldn't care less about that. I care about this. I tackled you right there. That's what I care about. And you guys, instead of making these plays, you guys just make excuses. This guy behind me is so wide open. But they're still covered at the same time. He told me what he was going to throw. The scramble tells you everything. A quarterback can't scramble actively. There's something called active scrambling versus passive scrambling. He throws the ball in passive scrambling. Passive scrambling is I'm walking in the same angle and then I look downfield. Active scrambling is, oh, got it. Oh, bounce in, reset. Oh, this isn't possible. Oh, we're going to have to reset again. Okay, we're good here. Now we passive scramble. That's what an active scramble looks like. But very clearly, if he's in an active scramble, by the way, he's not throwing the ball. He's not looking downfield. Okay. This is a passive scramble, meaning he's looking at his receiver, meaning he's self-pressuring. This should not be known as impressive. These plays shouldn't be considered to be good plays by a short. This is just what a short should be doing. I should not have to explain this stuff. It's honestly kind of sad. Let's go to the next one. This was a playoff game, I think. And I don't really see any plays from a short where I'm like, okay, wow, good stuff, man. But let's go through this clip. I think this was Siggs that made this play. This is something I call not respecting unlikely throws. Let's mute that. Alright. Look here. This is all we have to worry about this play. Okay. Quarterback has infinite time. Scary. What do we do? Okay. Started to run a little comeback. Siggs wasn't able to be under it.
So you know what he's not going to do? He's not going to try to react and get under the ball. Because he already sold. There's already underneath leverage. So he's not going to play on it. He's going to stay above him and be disciplined. Because this pass below, if he were to for some reason throw a chest pass here, it's just a tackle or it's an int if the guy doesn't attack it. So I'm not worried about it. Sigs isn't worried about it. Okay, let's see what happens. Starts to go down a little bit, but you know what he's not doing? He's not giving up a free over the top either. But this guy's encroaching. So you know what you can actually do now? You can meet him up here at the rim and go for a swat. Let's see what Sigs does. Already pre-jumping, ready to get this tackle. It's a huge play, man. Look at this. Watch the whole play from the short perspective, short right. Okay. Wide open comeback. If the quarterback throws it, he throws it. You got to dive on him, give him 4 yards, give him 5 yards. You didn't want to read it at the start of the play, and you didn't read it. Simple. But now we have to just move on with that. You didn't read it, so you're not going to be able to go underneath it and give up the over top. So look at how little respect he gives. He didn't move a muscle. Just stood there. Okay? Still fully covered, not throwable behind him. Just standing there. No unnecessary movement. He knows that pass behind him is not getting thrown. It's not a possible read. It's not even throwable. Just standing there. Not allowing stuff for free. Okay, and look, he goes behind him because he knows his quarterback isn't throwing this. He's not respecting an unlikely throw. He's worried about the touchdown. It's second down. They want to score here. And now look, the quarterback is too close to LOS. His DE is laned. He has a free way to push up and go for a swat. Boom. A huge tackle in a playoff game. That is huge. Puts them with two downs to score from the 6-yard line. Gives your team a chance at getting a stop. And do I think Sigs is a good short? Absolutely not. But I saw this play, and I was like, okay, this is a play that makes sense to me. Good job. Let's clip it and save it for later. All right. Now we're going to go on to how can I find value as a short. And here's a way I found that you can do it. Make the quarterback punish you. If the quarterback doesn't get to punish you, then you get free value. Let's watch me get some free value here. I am standing so far in. I would love this quarterback to throw some LOS out, horrible route, and I get like a 5-yard tackle. I'm like, whatever. He can throw that if he wants to. I want him to throw that, though. I want him to be actually thinking about me. I want him to be thinking about, this short is so weird. What on earth is he doing? Let's try to punish it. Like, I want them to really think about going out of their way to throw this. Because how many quarterbacks see a short and they're throwing this pass? None of them. They don't get to throw that. It's not. You're so out of. You're thinking so far outside of the box that you make a free play off of it. So let's check what happens here. Look at this. How many times has this ever happened in the entire history of this league, man? As a short, I just helped my DE get off of the TE in one chip. Has anybody else ever even put in conscious thought of doing this? No. You guys are not creative. You guys are not good players. You guys are bad shorts. Shorts need to get value. I want this quarterback to see me do this and the TE get mad like, bro, did the short just actually pick me? How's that even possible? I want them to be thinking about that. And I want this short to be running a comeback. Because if the short runs a comeback, now he has to look here. Huddy is looking here right now. I want him to not look where he wants to look. What quarterback wants to look here? If it's not a quarterback that's in his read sets, make him look there. And if he doesn't look there, take as much free value as you want. Like, instantly you get some free pressure off of it. I lost nothing here. But here's another thing. I can jam the slot as well. You can delay the slots routing by doing this exact same thing, just timing the hike. Also, this is important. I did time the hike. Like, I'm already ready to go as soon as the ball's hiked. You could even pre-shift if you want. But just think about that, guys. Like, find ways to make yourself have more value than the other shorts. Because the other shorts, they don't pick for their tight end. And this is not something you do every play, by the way. This is something you randomly throw in. And that way, if I do this on plays 1, 4, and 6, now on plays 2 and 3, it's in his mind. And then he sees it again on play 4, but he didn't see it here. So now he doesn't punish it. He doesn't look at it for this play. But now on play 4, he's like, oh, he actually did do it that play. On play 5, let me look for it. But now I didn't even do it. So now I'm just making the quarterback think differently for free. And if one of these times he catches me lacking and then he runs a comeback and the quarterback sees it, lovely. You want to know why? Because even though it's a 15-yard gain, the quarterback had to go out of his way and change the way he wants to play and be uncomfortable just to punish a short, just playing like a complete doofus. So just play like a little weirdo, be a little pest, and find value. Make them punish you. Because if he punishes me once and now he thinks this is a reliable punish, what if I just don't let it be a punish? And now he's looking here and there's nothing to throw. I just completely altered the way a quarterback on the other team thinks about how to read the fields, and now he doesn't even get to find value out of it. So say you're facing a routing scheme and you're leaving the stuff that's not supposed to be open at certain times, you're leaving that to be open, it's going to change the way the quarterback thinks. It's going to make him uncomfortable and it's going to make you win the game. Make the quarterback uncomfortable. Find value. Alright, again, be unpredictable. Let's see what happens in this play. 2nd and 37, he's at his own 1-yard line. What on earth am I going to do? Maybe I'll just jam this guy. Maybe I'll call man-to-man in chat. Let's see what I do. Also, this is key. This is important to note. I don't know why. Reagan does not have outside receivers. He doesn't see them. He just does not. They don't exist. Reagan is one of the few short quarterbacks that I've played against that genuinely has just zero negative vision regarding his outside receivers. I left this guy open probably 80 plays in a row, and I was just able to cover someone else for free because it went unpunished. But you know what? You would never know that Reagan doesn't do this unless you tried to cover this guy. That's the issue. You guys never know that Reagan doesn't throw this guy because you just cover this guy, or you never cover this guy. You just cover him. So Rezi never got any passes in this quarterback battle, even though he was open by 10 yards every single play. But I only knew this because I wanted to help guard here. So I went unpunished here, and now I covered 2 people for the price of 1 body, which is me. Think about that. Because you guys have never even considered that idea. Watch what I do here. I decide to jam here. I don't jam very often, so let's see. Why am I jamming? What on earth? Did the short just blitz for a safety? Why? But there's a guy behind you. But Jaden, the guy right here, Rezi, he's wide open, right? Like I said, the quarterback doesn't see it. I'm going to punish that. If a quarterback does not see the receiver, I have to punish that as a short. Because he's just giving it to me. So since he's not looking here, it can also be assumed he's probably not looking here either for a short blitz. I would have seen this. A lot of quarterbacks would have seen this. But I knew this quarterback wouldn't have logically seen this. And maybe I can play for a SWAT, worst case scenario. But guess what happens? He thinks that he has a lane here. Because look, he sees this. This is a really easy block for this guy. Quarterback's just like, oh, we're good. What if I do this, though? What if I just did that for fun? And I'm here. Did I expect a safety? No. Do I care that I got a safety? Not really. But I got a safety anyways. And none of you guys are even willing to do stuff like this. And that's what holds you guys back. You guys aren't willing to put yourself in a spot where you're genuinely able to make some crazy plays like this. I'm willing to let something be wide open and the possibility to logically make a play. If this play had no logic and he threw the outside receiver, if he threw Rezi every single play, I'm not doing this. That's called being an idiot. But I can get away with this because of a quarterback's tendency, or lack thereof, of punishing me. The quarterback was not punishing me enough, and therefore, I punished him. Like, I think it's one of these clips. It's this clip right here. I'm leaving this guy wide open, and then I can bounce in for free. Because he doesn't look at his outside receiver. He doesn't look at his outside receiver one time. And it's about understanding what the quarterbacks are going to throw. And that just makes me think, I'm just going to go for this. I don't care. Give me it. I don't care who's behind me. I don't care what's going to happen. This is what I wanted to do. And it got me value. There are maybe 2 shorts in this entire league that would ever even have thought, okay, maybe I can actually blitz here because of this tendency that the quarterback has to not really punish the outside receiver being wide open. Think about it. Try to find value however you can. All right, and last but not least, this is a more advanced concept. One of my players, one of my rookies actually, he had a question because he didn't really understand what to do here. So this is another time where we're reading a scramble. Okay. Already we're seeing this. He's wide open. He's way out of position. He doesn't. This is a wide open check down. So the check down's already kind of covered. Quarterback is over here. He's crossbody. Let's see what we're doing here. Okay. I want the quarterback throwing the check down here. This quarterback normally has already fired the ball or is already looking to fire the ball within 2 seconds. So the fact that he's still holding the ball while this is so wide open is kind of a red flag to me, and it makes me respect this check down less. Because already we got to think, one guy's the obvious option here. He has a potential to get swatted here if he throws this as by this DE right here. He can just swat him. So the guy who's circled, he's getting the ball here if it's a check down. But the quarterback just keeps holding the ball, and the ball should be thrown by now. I would be going back here. Just based on, this is called an overhold. The quarterback has held the ball for longer than he's supposed to relative to his standard check down timing. So a quarterback normally throws a check down on a certain timing. You need to take note of that. If he's not throwing it on that timing, he's throwing something else. What else is there to throw? The pass behind you is the only pass you would be able to get to. I would be backing up here. He's really late on the backup. He doesn't make a decision. Guy behind him is wide open. He could have been there. See that? He's not even far off. I mean, if he actually has better movement, he's like right here. Like he's close, and he did this. He didn't know where to go. I would have known where to go, because that is an overhold. Let's watch the full clip now. Okay, check down should be thrown right now. Still holding, still holding, still holding, still holding, still holding. Why would he hold that long? Only to throw a check down doesn't make sense, not logically. So, I went over a lot of concepts in this video. Try to find value from it. I hate playing AFL whenever there's just nobody good at short, and it's just like I lose playoff games because there's no good shorts to recruit. People just don't care to be good at short. It's so unbelievably boring. So try to get value from this guy, guys, because I just can't mentally deal with you guys being subhumans at short every single day. So hope you guys found some value in this.